Welcome to Artificial Intelligence for Work, School, and Life, the podcast for educators, students, workers, and lifelong learners who want to understand one of the most transformative technologies ever built and use it wisely. Every episode, we explore what AI really is, not the science fiction version, not the hype, not the fear, but the real, documented, evidence-based story of what AI can do, what it can't, and what it means for the people who teach, learn, and use it professionally and personally every day. Are you ready to begin? Okay, let's get started. Let's figure this out together.
Episode 10, AI and Educational Equity, Democratizing Access to Knowledge. Key vocabulary: digital divide. The gap between individuals who have access to modern information and communication technology and those who do not. Addressing the digital divide is essential before schools can equitably deploy AI tools, as students without reliable internet or devices cannot benefit from these technologies. Equity. In education, ensuring that every student has access to the resources and opportunities needed to reach their full potential, regardless of background. True equity in AI-enhanced education requires more than equal access to devices. It demands culturally responsive content, multilingual support, and teacher capacity to serve all learners. Open Educational Resources, OER. Teaching, learning, and research materials that are freely available for anyone to use, adapt, and redistribute. Pairing AI tools with open educational resources can make high-quality, personalized learning available to students in under-resourced schools worldwide. Culturally responsive teaching. A pedagogy that recognizes the importance of including students' cultural references in all aspects of learning. An AI tutoring tool that fails to incorporate culturally responsive teaching may alienate students whose backgrounds and experiences are not reflected in its content. Accessibility. The design of products, devices, services, or environments to be usable by people with a wide range of abilities, disabilities, and circumstances. AI-powered text-to-speech and captioning tools have dramatically improved accessibility for deaf and hard-of-hearing students in mainstream educational settings. Feature article. AI as the Great Equalizer, Promise, Progress, and the Work That Remains. Throughout history, access to quality education has been one of the most powerful determinants of opportunity. In every era, those with wealth have been able to purchase advantages, private tutors, elite schools, enrichment programs that compound over a lifetime. Artificial intelligence carries a remarkable promise: the democratization of educational advantage for everyone. Consider what AI can offer a student in rural Nepal, a first-generation college student in Los Angeles, or a Syrian refugee in a Turkish classroom. An AI tutoring platform can provide patient, personalized instruction in their native language 24 hours a day, adapting to their exact level of knowledge and style of learning. It can answer questions that no teacher is available to address at midnight. It can read text aloud for students with dyslexia. It can translate complex academic vocabulary into plain language for English learners. These are not minor conveniences, they are potentially life-changing educational advantages. Organizations like Khan Academy, UNESCO, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have invested heavily in deploying AI-enhanced learning tools to underserved communities globally. India's National Program on Technology-Enhanced Learning has reached millions of students through AI-assisted online courses. In Africa, platforms like uLesson and Anisa Education use mobile-first AI learning tools that function on basic smartphones with limited connectivity, critical adaptations for regions where broadband is scarce. The benefits extend beyond individual learning. AI-powered translation tools have made educational content accessible in hundreds of languages, breaking down a historical barrier that restricted high-quality learning resources to speakers of dominant languages. AI captioning and audio description tools have opened classrooms to deaf and blind students in ways unimaginable a generation ago. AI-based reading tools have helped students with dyslexia, ADHD, and other learning differences access content independently and confidently. Yet the promise is shadowed by serious risks. The digital divide, unequal access to devices, electricity, and internet connectivity means that the students who most need AI's help are often the least able to access it. AI tools developed primarily by and for wealthy, English-speaking societies may embed cultural assumptions and linguistic biases that disadvantage others. Commercialization of AI education tools can create new pay-to-learn hierarchies, where the best personalization is available only to those who can afford premium subscriptions. Realizing AI's democratizing potential requires deliberate choices, investing in public digital infrastructure, supporting multilingual and culturally responsive AI development, creating open-source alternatives to proprietary tools, and ensuring that AI deployment decisions prioritize the most marginalized learners. Equity does not happen automatically. It requires commitment. Review questions and answers. 1. In what specific ways can AI reduce educational inequality? AI can reduce inequality by providing personalized tutoring and feedback to students in under-resourced schools, offering learning support in multiple languages, making content accessible to students with disabilities through speech and captioning tools, and extending high-quality instruction to areas with teacher shortages. 2. What is the digital divide, and why does it matter for AI in education? The digital divide refers to the gap between those who have reliable access to technology and the internet and those who do not. It matters enormously for AI in education because students without devices or connectivity cannot access AI-powered learning tools, meaning the benefits flow disproportionately to already advantaged students. 3. How have organizations like Khan Academy addressed educational equity through AI? A. Khan Academy has partnered with OpenAI to develop Canmigo, a free or low-cost AI tutoring tool available to all students. The organization also offers its entire library of courses for free, making world-class instruction available to any student with an internet connection regardless of geographic or economic circumstance. 4. What cultural biases might be embedded in AI educational tools, and how can they be addressed? AI tools developed primarily in Western, English-speaking contexts may reflect cultural norms, examples, and assumptions that are unfamiliar or alienating to students from other backgrounds. These biases can be addressed through inclusive dataset development, multilingual support, culturally responsive content design, and involving educators from diverse communities in tool development. 5. What policy changes would most effectively use AI to promote educational equity? Key policy changes include publicly funding universal broadband access, subsidizing AI learning tools for low-income schools, supporting open-source AI development for education, requiring multilingual and accessibility standards in all publicly funded AI tools, and including equity impact assessments in all AI education procurement decisions.
That's our episode for this week. Thank you for thinking alongside us today. Every conversation on this podcast starts from one belief, that understanding artificial intelligence isn't just for engineers and executives. It's for every teacher standing in front of a classroom, every student staring at a blank page, every parent trying to make sense of a world that changed faster than anyone expected. AI will not replace great teachers. It will not replace human creativity, human empathy, or human judgment. But it will, and already does, change the conditions in which all of those things happen. And the people who shape those conditions are the people who understand what they're working with. That's why we're here. That's why you're here. Before you go, we have one ask. Take something from today's episode into your classroom, your school, your community, or your own quiet reflection. Ask a question you hadn't thought to ask before. Share a tool with a colleague who needs it. Challenge an assumption, including one of ours. This has been this week's episode of Artificial Intelligence for Work, School, and Life podcast. Have a wonderful week ahead, and we look forward to reconnecting with you next week. Keep thinking. Keep questioning. Keep learning.